Hi, Scott Jordan here for Airx Laboratories, a division of the Bullen Companies. We have a very exciting new product offering we want to talk about. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about kind of why we developed the system that we're going to be showing you today. When I go to my local food store, to get a sandwich made, it happens to be Wawa, in this case in the Philadelphia market, I see all these blue buckets around. There may be like 5 or 6 buckets in each store. And I wonder, well, what do they have in those buckets? And it has, you probably can't see this on the video, but it's got written on it quat-san or Q-san, which I guess indicates it's a quat sanitizer. But I don't see any caution labels. I don't see any EPA distributor number or establishment number. I believe this is probably a pretty severe OSHA problem. So when we just started putting together our ideas for a wipe system, we decided let's do it right if we're going to do it. So this is the complement, obviously, the Airx disinfectant program that we have in place. So let's, I think the best thing to do with this is just throw it out. And now we can talk about the Airx WIPERX refillable wipe system. We got a whole case of everything you need to start the program. So let's take a look over my shoulder. Okay, let's take a look inside the starter case and see the components that are included. First thing you see when you open up the box is the set of labels that we talked about at the beginning. But let's talk about the other components first, then we'll get to the labeling. Inside the box you see there's 5 rolls of the towels and the 1 bucket that we talked about. We're going to talk a little bit about the measuring information. On each bucket there's a fill level that indicates the proper amount of chemical that should be put into the bucket before the wipes are put in. This happens to be a quart. We don't want more than a quart, you don't want less than a quart. If you have more than a quart, the wipes are going to be too wet. If you have less than a quart, they're going to be too dry. So you want to fill your chemical to that level. Obviously a ready-to-use solution would go into it. There's an instruction sheet that covers the things that I'm talking about now as to how to properly load the system and all that. In addition to the measuring on the bucket itself, more importantly is we need to measure the proper amount of chemical. So we've included a measuring device that fits onto your gallon bottle. In this case, your gallon bottle of one of the Airx disinfectants or the Airx 101 that we're going to talk about. This device is really neat in that it covers from 3 ounces down to 1/4 ounce. So you just put it on the top of your bottle, squeeze the bottle, the chemical comes up into the reservoir, and then you pour that into the bucket with the proper amount of water in there. So we've included one of these with every starter case so that you're covered as far as properly measuring. In case you don't have a measuring cup, we do talk about the fact that you can use the top of the cap, but this is a more precise way of measuring. The final piece is obviously the labeling system, because that's really the weak link for that blue bucket product that we talked about at the beginning. We've included specific Airx disinfectants that are approved for stability after they're mixed. That's very important that we talk about the fact that not all disinfectants are approved for extended shelf life, meaning you mix it up and you have to throw it out after a certain amount of time. All the Airx products that we're including in this program are rated for extended shelf life and also rated for use with a cloth, a mop, or a wipe. So we've got that all covered. So we've included labeling for Airx 44 HDQ, Airx 44 ACE, Airx 78 Plus, Airx 15, and Airx 101. All these disinfectant products are included because maybe you're already selling a facility or a facility's already using some of these disinfectants for cleaning their floors, their walls, their beds, whatever, and they want a convenient wipe system. So what we've done is put together a labeling program so that you can put that on your wipe bucket and you have a wipe system using existing inventory that they probably have. Or if they aren't using our disinfectant products, they can start using these for the wipe system and in turn use them for their floor disinfecting and hard surface disinfecting and all those other surfaces involved. The last item we talked about Airx 101, great cleaner. Fantastic for just general cleanup where you're not that concerned about disinfecting. You just want a good heavy-duty cleaner that also has odor counteract in it. The last one is a label for chlorine bleach. A lot of people want to be using bleach wipes for particular organisms out there. C. diff obviously is a big problem, so we've included a bleach wipe label as well. Obviously, you provide your own bleach. We don't sell bleach. So we've got a complete labeling system that takes care of everything that that blue bucket we started off the discussion about doesn't have. Proper cautions, ingredients, statements, EPA numbers, everything you need. So that's a complete system that we've got everything you need in the starter case, and then obviously the additional boxes we've got put up as far as the bucket box and the refill box as well. Now that we covered what's in the WIPERX starter case, let's talk about some of the other parts in the system. This is the WIPERX refill box. The refill box has 6 rolls of towels in it. No bucket this time, but 6 rolls of towels. So once you get into the system, you might end up with too many buckets and not enough rolls of towels. So this identifies that issue, and you can buy it separately from the starter case. And then the final piece of the puzzle is, what if you need more buckets? The bucket box. So we got a complete system. We have the starter case, the refill case, and the bucket box. We already covered the labeling system that's involved, the measuring system. So all the pieces of the puzzle, so you don't end up with that blue bucket that we showed at the beginning of the video that doesn't have any proper labeling, doesn't have the OSHA requirements for cautions or anything else. Let's see how the product is actually used.